The main reason for someone to come in the United States and study in an American school is to get a high valued education, world renowned, and get a ticket to a high paid job. But is that the right decision for you? If you don't have the financial stability in your life, really high volume of cash in the bank, and you're not getting any scholarships, chances are you shouldn't do it. It doesn't matter how high the job you're gonna get in the future might be. If you get in debt to get your bachelor degree, then the chances are that you're gonna find yourself in a very hard position, especially if you don't get a green card to stay in the country. So come here and study psychology or geology or any of those subjects that are not in really high demand, like technology jobs or a medical doctor. It's probably not a good idea. There's other countries like the United Kingdom, where I got my bachelor from, that are probably much better when it comes to value, because their universities are world renowned. You have high-end schools like Oxford and Cambridge, and then you have mid-range schools like my university, Nottingham Trent, and then lower end, and the prices are much more competitive. The cost of living is much lower. English is the main language, obviously, so you get most of the experience of living in a big Western economy without the cost. In the end, I believe that's a much better value for most people than having people coming in the United States for, highly rated degrees. Now, if you do have a degree, does it worth it to come here for a master's degree? I would say, for the most part, it does, because then you can combine degrees from two different countries, your country of origin and then the United States. You get that international experience. But then again, I would argue an American master's degree is 2 years, and in the UK is only one in most cases. So the cost immediately, it's not even half, because it's not only that you need half the time, but the tuition fees are much lower. The cost of living in most cases will be much lower. But I understand if somebody would want to get a US degree over a UK degree. Now, it's all relative. It depends on what you want to do. If you do want to do it, though, I would highly suggest that you start doing a research of what are the specifics of your country of origin, because there are many components that go into tuitions and admissions, and there's a whole immigration thing that needs to happen in order for you to make it here, or as a matter of fact, in any other country. So where I would start is to do the equivalency degree. So there's a website. That's what I used to get my admission here for a master's degree. It's called World Education Services, WES.org. You go there, you type your specifics, and it gives you an equivalency. Now you need to pay a fee. You need to get a preview for free, and then you can get the official transcription that goes from your university directly to the university of your choice where you're applying. You have nothing to do with it, so WES will receive your grades from your own university. directly, and then WES will send those grades to the university of your choice directly, and it will say what the equivalency is. If the equivalency is a bachelor's degree and you're going for a master's, and that's great. That means that most likely you can enter. Now, WES will also translate your home grade into US standard. In my case, for example, I got a first class bachelor degree from the UK, but that alone means nothing in the United States. So basically what they did was translate that first class based on all the years that I took classes, and they gave me a GPA, a grade point average, and I got 376, which is pretty good. It's an A still, but there was a difference. There was a difference from the original degree, because my original degree would be like a 4.0, but because they also counted all the years and not just the last year as my home university did, the grade came to be a little different, and that might be something that would affect your admission. So you need to make sure that you do something like that as soon as possible. Now, once you do that, most American universities expect you to have at least 1 year of expenses and tuition in the bank. So you have to have, in my case, was about 30,000 US dollars that I had to show as funds in the bank. So it's not as easy as it sounds. It's not a decision you make and all of a sudden you move. You need to make sure that you have the funds, and then you're gonna go to an embassy, and then you're gonna have to pass an interview. Now, chances are, if you're able to have 30,000 in a bank, one way or another, and you have that equivalent degree, bachelor degree, chances are that the embassy would approve you for a green card, not a green card, but a student card, an F1 type card. But it's an interview. Anything could go wrong. One wrong answer, and they see the way you look, they see the way you talk, they want to make sure that you won't overstay your visa, basically, and this is not something you're doing to enter the country and stay illegally. So depending on also your country of origin, that might be easier, that might be harder. So keep that in mind. Overall, there are many easier countries to get to and have the same standard of living. So I would suggest that you do your research, because we have the idea of the United States being the place to be, but in the end of the day, when you put all the numbers down, it might make more sense for you to be in a European country where Europe has less salaries, smaller salaries, but at the same time they offer more vacation time. You have less stress in most cases. I've worked in London for a year downtown. We were doing very high-end projects, and the stress was nothing like here. So there's a lot to consider, and also proximity. If your country of origin is closer to Europe, then moving to the United States would make it more difficult to visit. I know I haven't visited my family in Greece for over 5 years. So life hits you when you get here. Let me know if you have any questions. I can answer most of them, as I have been through all these processes, and I'll be happy to help. Bye.